This week's lecture is about adjectives. مثل ما تلاحظون الموضوع واضح اسمه الادجectives. احنا كنا نعرف شنو هي الادجectives الصفات. Adjectives are used to describe nouns. So we use adjectives to describe nouns. يعني الصفة فقط تصف الاسم. الصفة فقط تصف الاسم. يعني noun, as you remember, like a month ago, تقريبا قبل شهر, when we studied about nouns, the different types of nouns, الcommon, الproper nouns, الgerunds, هاي الأسماء اللي بيها ing, الcountable, uncountable. These nouns are described with adjectives. تريد أنت تصف اسم جيب له صفة. هذا هو الشيء الوحيد اللي نستخدم الصفة له. إذا إحنا نستخدم الصفة حتى نصف الناون أو الاسم. Now, there are two main ideas about using adjectives. أكو شغلتين مهمة عن استخدام الصفات. The first one, that the adjective is used in front of a noun. يعني الصفة تسبق الموصوف. هاي احنا قاعدة عامة. الصفة تسبق الموصوف. The adjective comes before the noun أو used in front of the noun. إذا أنت عندك اسم، الفكرة تقريبا الكل يعرفها. And as you can see in these sentences, they have a beautiful or nice or big or white or wide house. يعني هسه هاي كلها صفات آني مختلف الصفات، سواء كان جميل beautiful nice لطيف big كبير white أبيض wide واسع أو شرح يعني house. So the noun is the house. أنا دا أصف المنزل، هذا البيت. وصفت الصفات and these adjectives come before the noun. كل هاي الصفات اللي هسه ذكرتها بمختلف أشكالها وأنواعها وصفاتها أنا ذكرتها قبل منو؟ قبل الاسم. We saw a very exciting film last night. إذا exciting film. So the film was exciting. إذا الفيلم هو وصفته بأنه exciting. فايش قلت عنه؟ We saw a very exciting film. يعني جبت الصفة exciting قبل الموصوف اللي هو الفيلم. بس هاي الفكرة almost everyone knows this. You bring the adjective to describe the noun and the adjective comes before the noun. هاي فكرة منتهية من عندها. الشيء ممكن اللي جديد عند البعض انه we may use adjectives after a linked verb يعني بعد verb to be or look or feel. يعني ممكن انت تستخدم الصفة حتى تصف الاسم ولكن تجيبها بعد الفعل الكينوني am is are was were or after the verbs look or feel. هذين يسموهم linking verbs، يسموهم افعال رابطة او قسم من عندهم يسمين auxiliary verbs، افعال مساعدة. هاي الفكرة ممكن تكون جديدة نوعا ما عليكم. Their house is beautiful or big or nice or white. So the noun is the house and the adjective nice or white. Now the adjective comes after the noun. حسب هاي الحالة الصفة جت ايش وقت؟ جت بعد الاسم. جت بعد الاسم بعد ما استخدمنا شنو is. Their house is beautiful. Their house is big. Their house is nice. هسه أني راح تقول لي okay, can I do it in the first method؟ أقدر أسويها بالطريقة الأولى or the first way? No problem, you can do it. You can say they have a beautiful house. مثل الجملة هاي اللي قلناها قبل شوي. Okay, it's okay, beautiful house. تشتغل. But also you can say their house is beautiful. You see the difference? البيوتيفول كصفة جت بعد الموصوف اللي هو الاسم. But you should use a linked verb مثل verb to be or look or feel. Another example, that film looks interesting or looks nice or looks amazing or looks long or looks exciting or sad. هاي كلها صفات استخدمتها. Interesting يعني مثير أو رائع nice جميل أو لطيف, amazing رائع, long طويل, exciting مثير للدهشة, sad حزين. That film looks interesting. إذا الصفة جت بعد الموصوف اللي هو الفيلم. أنا دا أصف الفيلم, جت بعد الفعل اللي هو look. Also another example. I feel tired. He feels tired. She feels tired. تمام؟ بهذا الجو الحاشد وتقول I feel hot. إذا الصفة جت بعد منو؟ بعد الموصوف اللي هو دا أوصف أني باستخدام الفعل feel. Now if you read the other sentence I am tired, هاي همين صحيحة. I am tired. I am okay. I am perfect in English. Okay. تلاحظ الفعل am فعل كينوني استخدمت perfect حتى أوصفني أنا. Okay. فإذا تقدر أنت تستخدم الصفة بعد الموصوف ولكن لازم تستخدم verb to be or the verbs look or feel. تمام? So this is something very important, students, especially the second idea, maybe because it's maybe new idea to you or something new. Maybe some of you know this or know about this. يعرف إنه ممكن مرات الصفة تجي بعد الموصوف هاي الحالات. But most of people or most of second language learners, you know, don't know this idea. They know that the adjective comes before the noun. يعرفون بس إنه الصفة تسبق الموصوف. Okay, students? So, is this clear, students? Is it okay? Are there any questions about these two ideas about using adjectives? Yes, Mahmoud? Yes, Mahmoud. Do you have a question or something? All right. Okay, if it's clear, so can I ask someone for an example? So who can give me an example about this? Yes, students, I'm listening. Who would like to give an example? Anyone. The one that brings the adjective before the noun, or the one that use the adjective after the noun. It's up to you, yeah. Do you have an example, Mahmoud? I have a wonderful friend. That's the first one. So wonderful comes before the noun, which is the friend. That's a good one. Mahmoud, what's your class? Class 8. That's a nice one. Thank you very much, Mahmoud. And we have other volunteers. We have Zahra Muthanna. Zahra Muthanna? Yes. What's your example?
Huda wore a beautiful hat to the pie eating contest.
Again, the weather. Again, could you please repeat that? The weather.
Huda wore a beautiful
hat. The weather was hot, right?
لا.
Again.
هدى wore يعني هدى ارتدت يعني لبست.
Huda wore, yes. Again.
Huda wore a beautiful hat to the.
Huda wore a beautiful hat. So you are describing the hat with the adjective beautiful. Now this is which one? The first way or the second?
هاي موصوف يلا الصفة.
A beautiful hat, right? You said beautiful.
Yeah. Yes.
So this means the first one. The adjective comes before the noun, right, Zahra?
Yes.
So it's the first one. Okay, that's a good one. Zahra, what's your class?
A.
Class A. Nice one. Thank you, Zahra. Noor Abbas.
Yes, Professor.
Yes, Noor. What's your example?
The movie A Quiet Place Part 2 was incredible.
Was incredible. So
yes.
So incredible describes the movie or the film. So it is the second way, right?
Yes. Exactly.
Incredible. Nice one. And which verb did you use? Look, feel, or a verb to be?
No, I didn't use a verb. Was.
No, you said was. Yeah, was.
Yes.
Was is a verb. It's a linked verb. It's a verb to be.
Yes, not.
So it was incredible. Nice one. It was.
Yes.
Noor, from which class are you?
A.
Class A. That's a good one. Hawra Salah.
Yes.
Yes, Hawra. What's your example?
I have example. Your voice is clear.
Your voice is clear. Exactly. So clear describes the voice. And which one is this? The first way or the second way?
Second case. الحالة الثانية.
It's the one that yes, حوراء.
Second case. الحالة الثانية.
Exactly. Your voice is clear, so it is the second case or the second way. Okay. Good one, حوراء. Thank you very much. Karar Settar?
Yes, doctor.
Yes, Karar. What's your example?
We have a nice school.
We have a nice school. We have a nice school. So this is which case? The first or the second case? Before the noun or after the noun? Yes, Karar. So what do you think, Karar? I have a nice school. So it is before. It is the first case. Okay, Karar, what's your class?
C, doctor.
Class, what, sorry, again?
Class C.
Class A, okay, thank you. Thank you. Hawra, what's your class, Hawra?
C. شعب C.
Class C, okay, thank you. Zahra Abdel Hadi.
No, doctor.
Yes, Zahra, what's your example?
Doctor, my cake should have 20 candles.
Again?
My cake should have 20 candles.
20 candles.
Yes.
Candles. Say it again. My cake should have 20 candles.
Okay.
Yes, should have 20 candles. So 20 candles. 20 is the adjective. So which case is this?
دكتور تمثل الموصوف يلا الصفة جاي يعني.
I know الصفة بعدين الموصوف. So it is the first case. 20 candles. By the way, that's a good example, Zahra. Students, numbers are good adjectives. الأرقام هي تعتبر صفات. So 20 candles, 20 students, 5 lectures. So the numbers are adjectives. So that's the first case, Zahra. Zahra, what's your class?
A.
Class A. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we have Shima.
Yes, doctor.
Yes, Shima. Yes, what's your class, Shima?
Class F.
Class F. Okay, and what's your example?
My sister has a red car.
My sister has got a red car. So red car. So which case is this, Shema? The first or the second case?
The first.
The first. So it means the adjective comes before the noun. That's a good one. That's a good one, Shema. Okay, students, good volunteers. Could you please stay with me? So when we move to the next part of the lecture, you give me also good examples. Thank you very much. Let's continue studying. Now we have many adjectives are made from verbs. غالبية الصفات المستخدمة هي من أفعال. But you have to remember something. Some verbs make adjectives with ing and some verbs make adjectives with ed. يعني بعض الأفعال تصير صفات إذا ضفنا لها ing وبعضها تصير صفات إذا ضفنا لها ed. Now, there is a big difference between ing adjectives and ed adjectives. أكو فرق كلش كبير بين ذني الاثنين. And please, I would like you to focus on this thing and to be careful with this because most of second language learners get confused with. لأن شوية يختلف المعنى هنا بين ing الصفة والed. So, ing adjectives like amusing, shocking, surprising, frightening, interesting, disappointing, they describe the situation. يعني ing صفة ing اللي هي جاية من فعل ing تصف الحالة، حالة الشيء، okay؟ الحالة مالته. I read a very interesting article in the newspaper today. I read a very interesting article in the newspaper today. هو ايش يقول أنا قرأت very interesting article مقال مثير للدهشة in the paper today. So, interesting article. Now, interesting is an adjective. It's actually a verb with ing هو interest ضايف له ing فصار interesting يعني مثير للدهشة. Okay? أو مدهش أو رائع. So, interesting article. Interesting here describes the article. يعني تصف حالة المقال. المقال يثير الدهشة أو يثير الرغبة أو يثير القراء. Okay? So interesting article. Now, look at the other sentence. I was interested in reading the article. I was interested in reading the article. So interested now is different. Interested here doesn't describe the article. هنا أنا ما جاي تصف الارتيكل. خليني أقول لكم شنو اللي تصف بس ورا ما نتعرف على الأفعال اللي بيها إيدي اللي تسوي صفات. Such as annoyed, bored, frightened, worried, tired, closed. They describe the feelings. الصفات اللي هي جاية من أفعال مضاف لها إيدي تصف تصف الشعور. تصف الشعور إنه شلون الواحد يشعر. So I was interested in reading the article. هذا الشيء اللي أنا شعرت به. أنا شعرت in reading the article. مو أقول I was interesting in reading the article. لا. Interesting يعني هذا يوصف الحالة مال الشيء. أما interested فيصف المشاعر مالتي. Okay? Let's take another example. She is interested in being a civil engineer. هي تشعر بالرغبة في أن تصبح مهندسة مدنية. Interested describes the feeling. بينما civil engineering is an interesting field or interesting job. الهندسة المدنية هي وظيفة أو مجال عمل مرغوب. So interesting مرغوب أو ممكن تقول هميا يثير الدهشة هميا أو رائع هميا تجي interesting. So interesting here describes civil engineering. It describes the situation of civil engineering. بينما interested هنا it describes what? It describes the feeling of this person. You know, she wants to be a civil engineer. Why? Because she is interested in being a civil engineer. لاحظ هنا interested تصف شنو؟ تصف الشعور أو المشاعر. So the ed adjectives الصفات اللي تنتهي بإيدي تصف المشاعر وممكن نفس الصفة اللي هي جاية من نفس الفعل ing تصف الحالة. Okay? So for example, the adjective bored. Bored يعني يشعر بالملل. He is bored. هذا شعوره. بينما boring ممل. That film is boring. I watched a very boring film yesterday. البورينج هنا يوصف حالة شنو؟ حالة الفيلم هذا إنه كان ممل. بينما أنا شلون كنت أشعر من أشاهده؟ I was bored. أنا كنت أشعر بالملل. You see the difference between. It's a very good example. يعني تشوف إنه نفس الفعل اللي ضفنا له ايدي صار صفة تصف الشعور أو المشاعر، أما اللي ضفنا له ing فصار يصف الحالة. Okay, is this clear, students? This is an important one, by the way. So I would like you يعني to يعني focus on this. Some people or some students confused with. بعض شوية يعني يرتبكون ويا هاي المسألة. So, do you student? Clear? Students, you hear my voice? صوتي واضح؟
Yes, Professor. We hear you.
Students, صوت واضح عندكم؟
Do you hear us?
Okay. Do you have any questions about this thing? About the difference between ed, adjective, and ing? Is there any question on this? Anything not clear or non-clear? Okay. So can I have some volunteers for this? Can I have some examples for this? Yes, student. Can I have some examples for this? Okay, we have
yes.
Mahmoud Rashid, the first volunteer. So, Mahmoud Rashid, what's your example, Mahmoud? Yes, Mahmoud. Yes, I hear you, Mahmoud. Your voice is clear, yes. Continue. Aha, you are interested in being a graphic designer. So does this adjective, interested, describe your feelings or the situation? So if I change it and make it like this, Mahmoud, being a graphic designer is interesting. Now, interesting describes what? Yeah, it describes what? That's a good example. That's a good example. So you see, students, thank you very much, Mahmoud. That's a good example. You see, students, there is a difference between interested and interesting. Mahmoud said, I am interested in being a graphic designer. Being a graphic designer is interesting. You see the difference? There's a big difference. So, Hawra, you're raising your hand. Do you have an example, Hawra?
Yes. The film.
Yes,
was
what's your
amazing.
sentence?
The film
The film was
amazing.
again? Yes. Amazing. So the adjective amazing describes the film or describes your feelings about the
Situation.
amazing. So it describes the situation of what? The situation of the film? The situation of the film, or yes, about the film or your feelings? About the film. Describe the situation about the film. Okay. Can you change it to make it describe your feelings about the film? Can you change it, please? Like making amazing, amazed. I am, yes.
يعني أوصف شعوري.
Yes, with the same adjective, but make it with ed. I am, yes.
I am feeling
yes.
Amazed.
Amazed. I am amazed. I am amazed. I am amazed with this film. I am amazed with this film. This describes your feelings about this film. Okay? So you feel amazed about this film. Thank you, Hawra. We have Fatma Nasser. Fatma Nasser.
The students,
What's your example?
The students were confused by the exam results.
The students were confused with the results. So does this describe the feelings or the situation about the exam? So what it describes?
Describe feeling.
Okay. If I change it and make it the results of the exam were confusing.
Sean?
The results of the exam.
Yes.
The results of the exam were confusing. Is correct or incorrect? What do you think? The results of the exam were confusing.
صحيحة.
What do you think? It is correct. And does it describe the feelings?
No.
Or describe the results?
No, the results. Not describe the feeling.
No, your sentence, confused, describes the feelings. But my sentence, the results were confusing. Confusing here describes the results. توصف حالة النتائج. وهي كانت نتائج مربكة. Okay? بينما أنت قلتي الطلاب شعروا بالإرهاق. Difference, Fatma?
Okay. A.
Fatma, you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
What's your class, Fatma?
F.
Class F. Okay, that's a good one. Okay. Another one, we have Huda Ali. Huda Ali?
Yes.
Huda? Yes, Huda. What's your example?
I watched horrifying films in the cinema.
I watched
a horrifying movie
horror
in the cinema. Horrifying. Horrifying.
Horrifying, 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 or horror, horrifying.
Horrifying.
Okay. Yes.
Horrifying
Which means. Okay, so you are describing the movie, or describing your feeling about the movie.
Did the film movie.
The movie.
أوصف نفسي.
So, no. Your sentence is correct because you are describing the film. Now, could you please change it to make it describe your feelings? But this time,
yes.
You cannot say horrifying, or you can say horrified, but you can change it into scared, maybe. Scared.
Yes. I was so scared when I watched that scary movie.
Yes, I was so. Again, could you please
I
repeat
was
it?
so. I was so scared when I watched that scary movie.
Again. Sorry, I'm not following you. I think there's a problem with the internet connection. Could you please repeat your? I was
so scared.
Scared. I was
scared.
So scared
when
to watch this movie. Yeah,
when I watched that scary movie.
That scary movie. Good. That's a good one. So scared means that's what you felt about the movie. You were scared. That's a good one, Huda. Huda, what's your class?
Section C.
You are from section C or class C. Good one. Thank you very much, students. Noor Abbas, we will move to the next part of the lecture, and if you have an example, you can give us, inshallah. So let's move to the next part. Now, in this part, we will know about comparative and superlative adjectives. نعرف عن صفات المقارنة والتفضيل. يعني comparison and superlation. المقارنة والتفضيل. Now, you all know, students, comparative adjectives are used to compare between things. إذا أنت تريد تقارن بين شيئين أو أشياء تستخدم صفة المقارنة. But if you are talking about something super among others, إذا تحكي عن فد شيء هو يكون super بالنسبة للآخرين, you use superlative adjectives. تستخدم صفات التفضيل. So let's talk about the different cases for comparative and superlative adjectives. خلينا نحكي عن هاي الحالات المختلفة لاستخدام صفات المقارنة والتفضيل. The first case, if you have one syllable adjectives, إذا عندك صفات بها مقطع صوتي واحد, يعني small adjectives, هاي الصفات الصغيرة, مثل هي كلمة small, short, tall, long, what else? Others like big, okay? These small adjectives, okay? We add ER for comparison, نضيف ER للمقارنة, and EST for superlation, ونضيف EST للتفضيل. For example, strong, say stronger, and هاي المقارنة. And for superlation we use EST فنقول the strongest. يعني that smell is stronger than this one. هاي العطر أو ريحة أقوى من هاي. That one is the strongest. هاي أقوى وحدة مثلا. Okay. This house is bigger than that one. The other one is the biggest in the street. فهاي مقارنة أو تفضيل باستخدام ER EST. Okay. Also, if you have adjectives ending with Y, OW or ER, صفات تنتهي ب Y, OW or ER, أضيف لها أيضا ER or EST. يعني for example, tidy, and the tidiest. Noisy, noisier, the noisiest. Okay. Narrow بمعنى اللي هو العكس مال wide. Narrower ضفنا له ER, the narrowest. Narrow. So this road is narrower than that road. The other road is the narrowest in the city. يعني هذا الشارع هو الأضيق أو الأقصف بالمدينة. Okay. Also, if you have two syllable adjectives, يعني صفات بها أكثر من مقطع صوتي واحد, but it ends with LE تنتهي ب LE وقبلها consonant حرف صحيح أو صوت صحيح. Also you add ER or EST for comparison and superlation. يعني noble, nobler. You see? Because noble ends with LE وقبل ال LE أكو حرف صحيح constant. So you add ER is for ER and EST. So who can give me an example about this? The ER and EST adjectives. الصفات اللي بيها ER و EST for comparison and superlation. للمقارنة والتفضيل. Yes, students. Yes, who's got an example? You can use anyone. We have حوراء. Okay, حوراء. What's your example, حوراء?
Yes, the bus is bigger than the car.
So you use bigger, and bigger is the comparative adjective for which adjective? What is the source adjective, or what is the adjective you are using? Which one?
Comparative مقارنة.
This is comparison. I know. High comparison يعني مقارنة. And the comparative adjective is bigger. So bigger is derived يعني مشتقة from which one? From which verb? From which adjective? شنو الأصل مال هاي الصفة؟ Big. So bigger, the biggest. Good one حوراء. زهراء مثنى, do you have an example for this?
Yes, دكتور.
Okay.
راح أقول مثال على المقارنة اللي هي
Yes, no problem.
This book is smaller
This one,
than
sorry, could you please repeat?
This book.
This one, sorry.
Is smaller.
Yes.
This book is smaller
Yes.
than the one I lost. يعني.
So this book is smaller than the other you lost. Smaller, right? You said smaller?
Yes.
Yes. So smaller is comparison. For which adjective? What is the source adjective? Small. Good one. Okay, good one. Another example for the ER, EST adjectives. Yes, students. Okay. Let me ask then. محمد كريم راضي. محمد كريم راضي. محمد كريم. Muhammad Kareem, open your mic please and give me an example for ER and EST adjectives. Yes. Yes, Muhammad Kareem. Okay, give me an example. Okay, while Muhammad Kareem is writing the example, انتظرك تكتب المثال. محمد طالب يوسف. محمد طالب يوسف. محمد طالب. يظهر محمد طالب ماكو يعني. عقيل هادي. عقيل هادي. عقيل هادي عبد الله. عقيل هادي عبد الله. عقيل هادي. يظهر عقيل هادي همو يعني. زين العابدين. زين العابدين علي. زين العابدين علي.
Yes, sir.
Yes, زين العابدين. زين العابدين, give me an example فد مثال ER and or EST adjectives. هذا الموضوع مال مقارنة والتفضيل. Any example?
Sorry, sir. I
Yes,
wasn't really concentrating with you.
You weren't? Why you weren't? So where were you?
Well, power went off so many times, so I missed half of it.
You missed the lecture.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you remember? What do you remember from the lecture? Anything you remember from the lecture. Now this is the third part of the lecture. We started with something, then something else, and now we are at comparison and superlation. So give me anything you remember from the lecture. What do you remember?
Sorry, sir, I can't really hear you. I can't really hear you. The internet is so weak.
You can't really hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so do you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you remember of the lecture? Anything you remember, like? You said you couldn't follow us, but I just want anything, like from the second part or the first part, anything. What do you remember?
Nothing
Yes, Zain
really.
Al-Abidin. Nothing really.
Yes.
Muhammad Kareem, this book is useful. This book is useful. Muhammad Kareem, this book is useful. Useful is an adjective, but I need something for comparison and superlation. ER adjectives. إذا أنت ويانا احنا كنا نحكي بموضوع المقارنة، ما كنا نحكي على الموضوع الأول. محمد كريم، أنت وين جاي تحكي بيا مثال؟ هذا غير موضوع أصلا احنا جاي نحكي فيه. محمد كريم. زين العابدين, are you with us?
Yes.
Zain Al-Abidin. Yes, Zain Al-Abidin. So you nothing you remember of this lecture, like anything, like from the first part, nothing.
Last week I missed the lesson too, so. Yeah.
Okay. From which class are you, Zain Al-Abidin?
F.
Zain Al-Abidin, what's your class?
FF, sir.
Okay, we have another volunteer here. Haider Wadood? Haider Wadood,
Yes,
do
sir.
you have an example?
Yes.
Yes, what's your example for comparison?
Our college is smaller than the other colleges.
Yes, our college is smaller than the other colleges. So what this means? This means this is a comparison between colleges. And what is the adjective you are using, Haider?
Comparative.
It's comparison,
smaller.
which is smaller. So for which adjective? For the adjective small, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's a good one. Haider, what's your class?
Class A.
Class A. Okay. Okay, الأخرى من عدا الحالات ER and EST, we use more and most, like efficient, more efficient, the most efficient. Okay, useful, more useful, the most useful. Okay, amazing, more amazing, the most amazing. Okay, and also if you read here, if you have verbs with ed or ing adjectives, you also use more and most. يعني هاي الحالة مال ing adjective or ed adjective, also we use more and most. ما نقول احنا interesting ونضيف لها er or interested ونضيف لها er. No, we use more or most. Okay, so who can give me some examples about using more and most for comparison and superlation? Okay. Okay, the same names, تقريبا نفس الأسماء جاي تتردد. Let me ask someone. تقى عبد المنعم؟ تقى عبد المنعم؟
نعم دكتور.
تقى.
نعم. تسمعني؟
تقى.
تسمع؟ تاب؟
Yes, تقى. Yes, I hear you, تقى. تقى, give me an example of using more and or most with adjectives. Or comparison or separation. Yes.
Yes. Zahra is more taller than. No. I will give you another example.
Okay.
Structure is more difficult than.
Yes. Than the
economic.
Last one? Than economy, for example.
Yes.
So yes, more difficult. This is correct because difficult, you cannot add er or est for difficult. So you say more difficult or most difficult. Tuqa, what's your class?
Class A.
Class A. Okay. Thank you, Toqa. Hamza Karim. Hamza Karim.
نعم
Hamza
دكتور.
Karim. Yes, Hamza. Hamza, what's your class?
Class C.
Class C. Good. Hamza, do you have an example for more and most?
مثلا يعني I have interesting more
Yes.
more interesting نعم بها ing I have more interesting the March.
What is March? You said March?
March.
Oh, much. Oh, March or much? Match. You said match, right? Match. لعبة يعني. Okay. So okay. Do you say I am more interesting or I am more interested? Are you describing someone or describing your feelings?
No دكتور غلط. Interested.
So I am more interested
interested
in this match. Now compare it to the others, like than the others or than other matches. Is that what you mean?
Yes, Victor.
So you are comparing your feelings with this match to other matches. Is that correct, Hamza?
No.
Okay. Okay, Hamza. Let's ask someone else. Okay, we have Taha. Taha Adiyab. Or Taha Adiyab, sorry. Taha. Taha, you hear me? Yes. Well, yes, Taha. Taha, do you have an example for using more and most? Yes, Taha.
Sorry, Doctor, can you repeat, please?
Yes, I'll repeat. Taha, we are talking about using more and most with adjectives for comparison and superlation. استخدام المور والmost ويا الصفات للمقارنة والتفضيل. Can you give us an example for using more or most?
Yes, Doctor, I have.
Yes. Like, what's the example?
Yes, Doctor.
Yes.
You can play football, but the playing in the house is most.
You can play football, but playing in the house is the most. Is the most what? Most comfortable?
Most perfect.
Where's the adjective? I need an adjective. The most what?
Most perfect, Doctor.
The most perfect?
Yes.
The most perfect. The most perfect. Well, perfect. Yeah, perfect is okay. More perfect, most perfect. Yeah, it's I mean, not bad. Okay. Someone else. Hussein Jassim. Hussein Jassim.
Thank you, Doctor.
Most welcome, Taha. Hussein Jassim. Hussein Jassim. Yes, Hussein Jassim. Hussein Jassim, what's your example about using more and most? You are going to write it. Let me ask Muhammad. Muhammad Abdul Hussein. I am clever. I am more clever than my brother. Than, not then. I am more clever. More clever, not clever more. Okay, so you are using the adjective. I am more interested in music than sport. I am more interested. Okay, Muhammad Abdul Hussein, Hussein Jassim, your mics also don't work. Yani all of you, what's wrong with your mics? Yani you cannot hear me? So how can I hear you when you say yes in the attendance? Okay, you have noise. Okay, we will see. Okay, Hussein Jassim, from which class are you? What's your class? What's your class, Hussein Jassim? Class A. And Muhammad Abdul Hussein, what's your class? Class A also. Okay, let's move now to something else. Okay, let's move to something else. Yes, سين.
طالما نبدل طالما نحول على موضوع ثاني.
Sorry. العفو.
I have example.
Yes, you have an
Before we
example.
change-
Okay, good. So,
Yes.
what's your example? No problem. What's your example?
Yes. Friendship more important than love.
What is more important? Again, could you please repeat that?
Friendship more important than
friendship is more
Yes.
important than
love.
Than love. Okay, so more important. So the adjective is important, and you are using more. Okay, that's a good one. What's your class, Hussein?
I'm from class A. Class A.
Class A. You are from class A. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we have other volunteers here. We have Ali Saud. Ali Saud. Ali Saud, what's your class?
F, Doctor.
Ali Saud. Yes, what's your class?
Class F.
Class F. And what's your example?
Ali is the most interesting boy in the class.
Ali is the most interesting boy in this class or in the class. Nice one. That's the most. So it's superlation. تفضيل. Good one. Maryam Taha. Maryam Taha. Yes. What's your example, Maryam?
Muhammad is the most liar in the world.
Is the most liar.
Liar in the world.
Well, liar. Yeah, it works. More liar. Well, I think no. It's not more liar. It's liar or the liarist. The liarist. You add est. If you remember, look, Maryam. If you look at the table, there is in the second row 2-syllable adjectives ending with y, ow, or er. Now liar ends with er, so you should add er or est. So the liarist. Do you get that, Maria?
Yes.
Okay, what's your class?
See.
Okay, do you have you have another example?
على الER. Maryam is shorter than Dunya.
Okay, she is shorter than Dunya. So shorter.
أقصر, yes.
Okay, no problem. Okay, thank you, Maryam. Okay, thanks for those who gave us good examples. Let's move now to the second part of this lecture. Now we have here a notice, ملاحظة. When you use the comparative adjective, make clear what you are referring to. من تستخدم صفة مقارنة للمقارنة لازم تعرف منو هذا الشخص اللي جاي تشير له أو الشيء اللي جاي تشير له. So for example, problem X يعني المسألة X is easier to solve. Okay, it's easier than what? Okay, problem X is easy. Okay, هاي صحيحة. But when you use comparative adjective, you should mention the other party, الجهة الأخرى. So problem X is easier to solve than problem Y, or problem X is the easiest to solve. هاي صحيحة. هي الأسهل للحل. But if you say problem X is easier to solve without comparing it to another problem, that is incorrect. لازم تقارنها بشيء آخر. من تستخدم صفة المقارنة لازم تقارن شيء بشيء آخر. X is more efficient than Y. Yes, this is correct. X is more efficient than Y. بس ما نقول X is more efficient. Okay, هسه هي more efficient أكثر كفاءة، بس أكثر كفاءة من شنو؟ Okay, هنا قلنا than Y، يعني الماكينة X أفضل أو أكثر كفاءة من الماكينة أو الآلية Y. Just like this example. Machine A is more efficient than machine B. Okay? Machine A is as efficient as machine B. هاي يسموها as adjective as. أنا أسميها similarity. استخدام الصفات في التشابه أو بالاختلاف. difference. هنا you just change the affirmative into negative. بس تغير المثبت إلى نفي. يعني for example أحمد isn't as tall as علي. هسه لو أنا قلت أحمد is as tall as علي معناته أحمد وعلي بنفس الطول. بس من أقول أحمد isn't as tall as علي معناته هم ما متشابهين بالطول وإنما مختلفين. This is a good form by the way. I use it sometimes for similarity. يعني this lecture is as good as the previous one. This lecture is as important as the last one. إذا مهم هنا إنه نستخدم طريقة as adjective as and it's very easy. You make it affirmative معناته similarity. إذا كانت مثبتة تشابه. You make it negative it's difference. إذا كانت negative منفية معناتها اختلاف. And you can give many examples about this. يعني كل سهل استخدامها. Other expressions we have عندنا أيضا بعض الفورمات الأخرى أو الأشكال الأخرى من التعابير نستخدمها. X is as efficient as Y. هاي حكينا بها similarity. تريد تسويها مختلفة قول X is not as efficient as Y. شوف راح أسويها مرة ثانية بطريقة الاختلاف. X isn't as efficient as Y. هسه صارت هنا difference. صارت اختلاف يعني X مختلفة عن Y مو بنفس الكفاءة. بينما X is as efficient as Y صارت بنفس الكفاءة. X is different from Y. X و Y مختلفات. X is similar to Y. Or X is the same as Y. X و Y متشابهات. X is inferior or superior to Y. يعني X أفضل من Y. Superior or inferior يعني better. X is equal to Y. يعني X و Y متشابهات أو متساويات. But in mathematics ما نقول X is equal to Y. X equals Y. يعني X is like this equation مثل هاي المعادلة. X plus Y equals 3Y. هاي معادلة. X زائد 1 يساوي 3Y. Okay students? So this is a very important thing يعني and these expressions I use يعني sometimes in English. For similarity I use as adjective as. For difference I just make it negative. استخدم ال as adjective as بس أسويها negative. Also you can use similar to or the same as or inferior or superior to or equal to or different from. لاحظ هاي كلها حتى تقارن بين الأشياء سواء بالتشابه أو بالتساوي أو بالاختلاف. Okay? So these are good expressions يعني for you to use for comparison and superlation. Now the most important thing and the thing that unfortunately some students and some learners have problems with هو موضوع ال order of adjectives. يعني ترتيب الصفات. In some sentences you may use more than one adjective to describe one noun. في بعض الجمل ممكن تستخدم أكثر من صفة حتى تصف نفس الشيء. أكثر من صفة تصير صفتين ثلاثة. How to put these adjectives in the correct order? You should follow this order. حتى ترتب الصفات بالشكل الصحيح اتبع هاي الطريقة. تبدي صفة تصف general order, general opinion يعني صفة تمثل الرأي العام. Then specific opinion رأيك أنت الخاص بهذا الشيء. Then the size الحجم. Then the shape الشكل. Then the age العمر. Then the color اللون. Then nationality يعني الهوية أو الانتماء أو الجنسية. And lastly the adjectives describing material. الصفات اللي تصف نوعية المادة. يعني إذا أنت جدك أكثر من صفة لازم تنتبه لهذا الترتيب حتى ترتبها ترتيب صحيح. Let's look at the examples and see how adjectives are ordered or put in the correct order. شوف انتبهوا وياي هاي الأمثلة. He was a nice, intelligent, young Iraqi man. لاحظ. صفة النايس تمثل الجنرال اوبينيون انه هو شخص nice يعني cute or friendly or kind. هذا بشكل عام. Then the specific opinion أنت رأيك بهذا الشخص إنه هو intelligent, clever, smart. بعدين العمر young. بعدين الناشوناليتي. طبعا هو أكيد لأنه ماكو صفة لا للون ولا للحجم، فلذلك هو استخدم general بعدين specific opinion then the age then the nationality. Okay, تلاحظ he was a nice intelligent young Iraqi man. This is very important students, please يعني make sure you understand this إنه لازم تعرف هذا الترتيب الصحيح. هذا اللي هنا هذا هو يعتبر الترتيب الصحيح. Okay students, this one in red هذا هو الكوريكت. طبعا أنا ما دا أقصد إنه هم ممكن يجون الصفات كلهم مرة واحدة بنفس الجملة، لكن لازم تختار الترتيب الصحيح حسب هذا الترتيب اللي احنا حاطين. She had a small round black wooden box. Small round black wooden box. لاحظ 4 صفات تصف البوكس. Small size. Round shape يعني شكله دائري، صغير وشكله دائري. Black الكلر لونه اسود. Wooden الماتيريال معناته خشبي. إذا she had a small round black wooden box. لاحظ الترتيب. Size بعدين shape بعدين color بعدين material. ليش؟ لأنه ما عندنا لا age ولا nationality. انتبهوا لي الآن لهذا الترتيب. The tallest tower in Europe was designed by the famous professional Iraqi architect زها حديد. 3 صفات. Famous, professional, Iraqi. Famous هو professional بالتخصص مالتها، هي متميزة أو رائدة في تخصصها. This is my specific opinion. هذا رأيي أنا. Iraqi nationality. Okay? Of course, if you have other adjectives يعني مثلا مال الage تصير قبل العراقي. Famous, professional, old Iraqi for example. Okay? فانتبهوا لي هنا إلى ترتيب هذه الصفات. Okay? By the way, this is a very important subject يعني all the adjectives. دائما we have some good يعني questions about this. So, who's got a question about this students? Who's got a question about the order of adjectives? السؤال عن ترتيب الصفات بالشكل الصحيح. Yes, who's got a question? أكو أحد عنده سؤال about this? This is a very important يعني subject. Is this clear students? واضح عندنا هذا الموضوع طلاب؟
I think so.
Okay, good. By the way students, this order in red هذا الترتيب اللي بالأحمر هو the correct order. هو الترتيب الصحيح. So please students be careful with the order or how to put adjectives in the correct order. شلون ترتبها بالشكل الصحيح. فقط تتبع هاي الترتيب اللي احنا اختارناه. Now, in every lecture we have vocabulary part. عندنا section مال المفردات. We have common words in English. الكلمات الشائعة باللغة. These words with their meanings. If you want the right and correct pronunciation, you will just have to go to the videos in the classroom, and you can listen to my pronunciation, the correct pronunciation. You listen to them and try to repeat after, so you make your pronunciation correct. تصحح اللفظ مالتك لهاي الكلمات. The other vocabulary is the engineering technical words. الكلمات اللي تتعلق بموضوع الهندسة المدنية. I have chosen some good vocabulary that you need for drawings. تحتاج للرسم الهندسي. And also you need it for construction methods. لطرق الإنشاء والبناء. إن شاء الله هذا الموضوع you are going to have it إن شاء الله next year صف رابع. So the word plan. Plan هي بالمعنى خطة. بس in civil engineering, a plan is a two-dimensional view looking down on top of an object. يعني المخطط مال الشيء. الدروينج يعني الرسم التخطيطي للمبنى نسميه plan. اذا انت تريد تجيب المخطط مال المشروع تقول plan. Section: a two-dimensional view inside an object as it's cut through. إذا تريد تجيب section مثلا for example longitudinal section مقطع طولي, you cut the thing into two halves. تقسم الشيء اللي بالنص تباوع إلى السايد فيو مال الشيء نسميها إحنا section. Isometric projection هاي أخذتوه بالرسم الهندسي الايزومتريك. A three-dimensional view with a corner of the object at the front. يعني هو شكل ثلاثي الأبعاد للشيء ولكن يكون الشيء موضوع والزاوية مالته بالركن يعني ويكون منظور بزاوية للشيء بس هو ثلاثي الأبعاد. Oblique projection. Oblique a three-dimensional view with the 2D face of the object at the front. يعني هو شكل ثلاثي الأبعاد بس تجيب الوجه مال الشيء مثلا الوجه مال المبنى هذا 2 dimensional. الوجه مال المبنى 2 dimensional عباره عن بعدين ارتفاع بعرض فيكون oblique projection يعني متباوع على الشيء الثلاثي الابعاد بس من الوجه مالته يسموه oblique بينما من الزاويه مالته يسموه isometric. Exploded view a three-dimensional view showing an assembly taken to pieces. يعني من تقسم أو تجزئ الشيء إلى مجموعة أجزاء يسموه exploded view. Elevation a two-dimensional view of the side of an object. elevation هو من تباوع من الجانب المنشأ يعني هسه المنشأ أنت تباوع للجانب مالته هذا يسموه elevation. Sketch يعني الرسم اليدوي a rough hand drawing illustration يعني توضيح أو رسم باليد رسم يدوي. If you remember in first stage in drawing in generic drawing بالرسم الهندسي you used to do some sketching تسوون يعني رسم بخط اليد يسموه sketch. Concept an overall design idea. The overall view or overall design idea الفكرة التصميمية يسموها concept. Draft يعني version يعني the version of the drawing يعني هذا خلينا نقول عليه احنا المخطط بس هذا الفيرجن نمبر 1 من عنده ممكن يكون فيرجن نمبر 2 فيرجن نمبر 3 وهكذا. ايش مثل الطبعات كانما يعني. Loads forces evaluate identify and calculate يعني يحتسب ويقيم. Calculate quantify يعني for example calculate the number of bricks required to build this house يعني quantify the number of bricks يعني احسب لي عدد الطابوق اللي تحتاجه حتى تبني هذا المنزل. Determine يعني identify يحدد. Constraints يعني limits on the design محددات التصميمية. Plumb completely straight يعني معتدل أو عدل. Out of plumb slightly inclined from vertical معناته مائل شوية بالاتجاه العمودي. Span the distance between 2 points. If you remember in the last lecture about roofs and trusses, we had the span of the truss as the distance between two supports. المسافة الأفقية بين السبورتات. Features specific things the new design must have يعني المواصفات. Superseded يعني replaced. Scale يقول لك this plan is drawn to a scale يعني مقياس رسم. The size of items on drawings in comparing to their real size. من ترسم انت في المخطط ترسمه to scale مثلا 1 to 10 يعني كل متر على الرسم هو يمثل 10 امتار بالواقع. هذا يسموه scale يعني مقياس الرسم. Okay students, these words and technical words and vocabulary is important students. يعني if we are going to have an exam about adjectives, remember these vocabulary, okay, or these words. هذا الموضوع مهم مال vocabulary. يعني أنا ممكن مثلا أجيب لك عليه سؤال معين, or ask you to define مثلا a word تعطيني التعريف مالتها, okay? So it is very important, students, and you need it in your studies, سواء this year or next year. The last part is about irregular verbs, الأفعال الشاذة. If you remember, we had this in the last lecture and the lecture before. عندنا the present verb, the past والpast participle. These verbs are important, students. You need them in your sentences. Maybe if you are going to make a sentence with passive voice بالمبني المجهول, you need past participle. فلازم تتذكر التصريف الثالث للفعل. So you need these. And by the way, the correct pronunciation, اللفظ الصحيح, is in the videos in part number 3. You find it, inshallah, in the classroom. So, do we have any questions about the whole subject or the whole lecture? عندنا أي شيء عن هذا الموضوع كله? Students, yes? Any questions about this? Is my voice clear? You hear me, students?
Yes, doctor.
Okay. If there are no questions, let's move to the attendance. Let's take the attendance. Okay, we have class F, شعبة F.